I sleep a lot. A lot of people call it lazy. I say I'm living the spiritual truth that the masters teached. You know what I mean? Taught. Anyway. Teached. I know. Hi. Welcome to Dumbest Guy in the Room with Tom Simmons. Eric's going to be laughing over there. It's this is the show. I don't really know how to start, but this is what we do here. I come on, I talk about whatever. I look kind of like a criminal, like I'm on the run. I got the beard going. It's a new thing. I've never really had a beard this long, so it's as long, and I've had I'm writing on the Miss Pat show, so I have an ability not to cut it, so I don't have to be in front of people on stage. So it's like, here we go. And now I'm like, I kind of maybe like it. Also, being a comedian and a comedy writer, you need, there's not enough white guys with beards. That's right. I really just wanted to slip in the plug about, look at me, I'm writing on a TV show. You know what I mean? So, well, you said some dumb math about why you're not cutting it. What the fuck was that? I saw a TikTok video that was a beard is some sort of beard thing, and he said, if you've grown it if you're thinking about cutting your beard, just grow it more. Uh-huh. Almost like a haircut where you're like, it looks like shit. And then 2 days later, you're like, this transitions into good hair. Yeah. His thing was wait as many days as weeks that you've grown it. So if you've grown it for 6 weeks, wait 6 days before you cut it. So you really put some, because it's a big change. So you want to make sure you think it through. And I don't know why, just because one guy on TikTok said that, I'm like, that's the theory I'm going with. All but that's as much as I've looked into it, and that's sort of what I've... What other life advice have you taken off of TikTok? Probably too much, you know what I'm saying? Probably too much, But that's another thing I've started to see, like, quotes on TikTok. I'm like, I could do that. I have from my life, I used to collect quotes. I have a whole book filled with quotes. What do you got in there? Stop. Now I got to put on my glasses. Does this make me look old or the gray? So I got about 8 quotes on here. Would you give me a number between 1 and 3? You picked the longest fucking one. This is the humble approach: to assume a realistic attitude before the Creator and admit that we are not the center of the universe. The sun does not revolve around us. Our 5 human senses are able to comprehend only a small portion of the mysteries, forces, and the spiritual realities that surround us. From John Mark Templeton. Humble Approach. It was a book. That sort of that talked about. That's interesting because that's how I've kind of stuck with me. That there should be more of a molding between science and spirituality and religion, as opposed to the polar sort of opposites that push don't listen to the other one. More of a what can science learn from spirituality and vice versa, which I think ultimately is what sort of we're coming to a lot with some of the self-actualizations like that Eckhart Tolle and those kind of things, that the connectedness of all things, and science shows us the multiverse and all that kind of, and that some of that already exists within spirituality and meditation, and they got things that are within the religions. I want everybody to be so at peace that they sleep soundly and regularly. So that's what I do. I sleep a lot. A lot of people call it lazy. I say I'm living the spiritual truth that the masters teached. You know what I mean? Taught. Anyway. Teached. I know. Let me rephrase. Let's try that again.
No, that was funny. Okay. We keep that, and underneath, that's where the dumbest guy in the room pops up one more time. Yeah. Bing. Yeah. Every time you say something stupid, bing.
Yes, I was thinking about this too. It's like people that are intermittent fasting, right? They stop eating at what time? I don't know how it goes. Like they stop eating.
You don't eat like 8 o'clock at night, and then you don't eat again until like noon the next day.
Yeah.
Some people do it like that.
Yeah. So some people call it. I call it like I sleep till 2. A lot of people call it lazy. Look, I'm living healthy. That's intermittent fasting. I slept through all that shit. I didn't have to work. I got up, ate late, fucking losing weight by sleeping my ass off. Anyway.
You do burn calories sleeping. So.
Do what?
You do burn calories sleeping. So.
You said you had something you wanted to ask me. You wanted some. You had a piece of advice. You were curious about, to get my opinion on something. Before we started recording, you said you had a question that you wanted to ask me. That was 5 minutes ago, Tom. Oh. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, it might be the thing about Serena.
Okay. Let's stop.
Because I might have been an asshole.
Let's stop by saying that if you're about to ask me marriage advice, this podcast is going to be
not so much marriage advice, just communication advice.
All right, let's talk about it. I'm learning about communication.
And I'm maybe uncomfortable because anyway. Here's what happened. Like me and Serena were hanging out in the kitchen. Like our kitchen is connected to the fucking television's over there, the kitchen's over here. Anyway, we're in the same. And we're just having a normal conversation. And then a commercial comes on for some drug about bent dicks. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
Peyronie's disease.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Bent dicks. Peyronie's disease.
Peyronie's disease.
It's like when your wiener curves.
I got that.
Right? I got a slight curve to the left too.
It's only curved.
Okay, well then you might have Peyronie's, right? So that was my. So it's just.
I don't like that it's named after somebody else.
You want it to be named.
You think
after
you're the first guy with a
Name
bent
after me.
dick? Well, he's the first guy with a bent dick who did.
He was
something
the first
about
guy with a bent dick. How do
No,
we
no,
know
no, no,
that?
no. He was the first guy with a bent dick who did something about it.
See, this is
What
my
do you
problem.
mean he did something about it?
He like.
He's, first of all, he's like, I've got the abortion thing figured out in my life because my dick is shaped like a hanger. Okay? He's pregnant, not pregnant. Boom, it's all working out. Who needs to wait for the morning after pill when you have fucking hanger dick? What the fuck? That can't be real.
Go ahead. What tell me about it?
I think I don't know a lot about it, but it's like something I'm fearful of. I'm very fearful that I'm going to wake up one day and it's going to look like a sword from Aladdin. But
Right.
like he did something
So you're
where
dead on, fucking 12 o'clock, like you're like, boom, you're like, what's it called, the sundial? You're bam.
yeah, that's
All
what I'm scared of. I was scared of something like that, but I think it's like he had it and people just didn't do anything about it, and he was just like, okay, I think that he made the corrective surgery. He was a doctor, I think, and he did a corrective surgery, and it's like scar tissue and all this stuff, and yeah, right?
Peyronie's disease is a non-cancerous condition resulting from fibrous scar tissue that develops on the penis and causes curved, painful erections. Penises vary in shape and size, and having a curved erection isn't necessarily a cause for concern. But Peyronie's disease causes significant bend or pain in some men. This can prevent you from having sex or might make it difficult to get or maintain an erection. Erectile dysfunction. For many men, Peyronie's disease also causes stress and anxiety. I would say that's probably true.
Right.
I think most stress and anxiety revolves around your dick at some point.
No shit. You're like, what do I care about refugees in Poland? My dick is now bent to the left, right?
Looks like a paper clip
It
now.
makes it a lot more personal.
That felt like a Bill Clinton impersonation. Penile shortening is another common concern. What the fuck? How come I never
can
heard about
shrink,
it?
yeah.
What is it? What? Shortening?
Penile shortening.
Penile shortening?
Shortening is another common concern. Peyronie's disease really goes
Can you
away
cook
on
with
its
it?
own.
Can you cook with it like regular shortening?
God damn it, Tom. God fucking damn it.
You guys
I'm
are
trying to
both
be
fired.
serious
I
here.
want people in here that'll laugh at those jokes instead of
I'm trying to be serious.
is doing the hiring around here.
That was more of a I appreciated it, but damn.
No,
It
I
was
did
like
not appreciate it. I did not appreciate it. I don't think it was funny, and I will not support your bad behavior.
No, well, finish your sentence.
No, I was trying to talk about something serious.
Penis shortening, right? Yes. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Peyronie's awareness.
Okay, so he now
Link in the description.
you know the commercial I'm talking about, by the way?
It that has the chili peppers.
Yes.
Like it's showing all the dicks and
Yes.
one like all the dicks and like it's showing like oh this is a banana and then it's like a eggplant and one's like a chili pepper and a squash and just all different.
It's
shapes.
an awkward enough, long enough commercial that it's awkward, and how they keep talking about bent penises and
Xiaflex.
now since he did the self-surgery or whatever that he invented.
I don't know if it was self-surgery, but he did something to treat it.
Right. So is
Xiaflex
that what
is
they're
the
selling,
only
a surgery, or they're selling a drug that straightens it?
Xiaflex. Xiaflex is the only non-surgical treatment option for appropriate adult men with. What the fuck does that mean? For appropriate adult men with Peyronie's disease, approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
If you're a pedophile, they don't fix it because you don't deserve it. You're not appropriate.
That would be an interesting thing for instead of sterilization or whatever, or castration for pedophiles and rapists. Maybe there's a way that like you can give them some, like they take the thing that gives them the Peyronie. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you take anything to get it. I think your dick just gets bent.
You can't have a dick going straight out.
Yeah.
So I would tuck it into my belt and like fucking tie it tight.
God.
And I think I trained it like a bonsai tree.
How do I not have a joke off bonsai? Right? Can you trim
Dumbest
it like
guy
a
in the room.
bonsai tree, like in like Karate Kid? Wax
Yeah.
on? Did you do a lot of waxing on?
Do you pee like
Stupid.
if at the end when you complete, does it go in your face?
No, I mean, God damn it. This is
When
why I
you
didn't want to be on
complete-
podcasts. I just say too much shit. If I can, you know, if I can shoot.
Still, you get some good arc.
I can shoot above my head if I need to.
No, really?
Yeah. I do fine.
Okay.
I do fine in the
I
masturbation.
think I
area.
used to be in that field, but it's like, you know what I mean, where you're like, okay, that's, you know, but that's it's
Is that what happens?
You still shoot rope.
In your late 40s?
yeah.
I'm about to hit
Yeah.
a real problem
Yeah.
spot.
Robert Schimmel used to have a hilarious thing about that. Like, watch, he's so funny.
Dude, you wanna
he might
talk
be the
about-
first comic that I was in my room. I remember being in a hotel room, and the guy in Fairview Heights, Illinois, Comedy Etc. Art Veloff. Art Veloff is actually he gave me a Schimmel either cassette or a CD, and I had a thing in my room, and I'm like doing crunches or do whatever. I'm working out in my room with my little 15-pound weights, and I'm listening to that album, and I'm laying on the floor, just holding in laughter at that, you know, and that very rarely happens as a comic as you're watching. But man, he was that CD.
Yeah.
You go listen to it. Turn me off and fucking go listen.
Yeah,
to that.
dude.
It's
He
hilarious.
was another guy from Stern that I found. Like anywhere I could find comedians, I would go, right? And Schimmel killing on Stern with a joke. He did a joke about his son. I think his son had cancer at some point, and he had a Make-A-Wish thing. And he said, my son's wish, and this is his dying wish, and, you know, if you guys want to make it happen, it'd be great. He said, my son's wish is that, you know, since he's dying of cancer, that I would get a blowjob from Dolly Parton. And it just like, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but it fucking murdered the room, man. It was one of the best jokes I've ever heard. It was so well delivered, and it was about the hottest thing going on in that guy's fucking life. What a fucking killer that guy was, man.
Yeah. He was another one of those rare where you watch.
Did you ever
and
meet
you're just
him?
Like, what the fuck? That is so.
Did you ever
much-
meet him?
Yeah, I worked with him for a
You
week.
worked with him?
Yeah. Yeah.
When
yeah.
did you work with him?
I worked with him at the Columbus Funny Bone. He was funny, man.
Why does that string of words sound so perfect? Columbus Funny Bone. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You can name any comedy club, but it's like the city and the club just go together perfect. Columbus Funny Bone.
It's sort of the hub. It was in my mind. It was sort of the hub of the Funny Bones. Like everything
Yeah.
was sort of everything important. Like the big road clubs were booked out of that room, and it was also. It was a fuck. No matter where they put that room in Columbus,
Yeah.
it was just a great room for
Tell-
comedy.
Tell
you
me
know?
about working with Schimmel. How'd you meet him?
It's weird. I don't remember. I just think I was middling, and
Just got paired with him?
yeah, and I just got paired with him, and then I would do my show and sell my
How often
t-shirts
did you
after
work
the
with him?
show. Just that. I think
Just the-
maybe just that 1 week.
Was he cool?
Yeah, we didn't really hang out a whole lot. He
Yeah.
was doing because he was doing his shows, and he was doing the headliner. So he was doing a lot of the promo and
Yeah.
his own stuff, and he was also he was doing stuff for Toys for Tots for cancer and stuff. He's always doing stuff, you know.
Yeah, man.
He's another one of like I wish I would have spent more time learning from him instead
Yeah.
of trying to sell my CDs and fucking be great in front of him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're just so wrapped up in like.
Well, it's
yourself,
it's
you
this
know?
fucking idea that you have to go and you have to be great so you can go back and do it again. But that was one thing when I first started either hosting or middling at clubs. I had to like really remind myself. I think I told you this before we started recording. Like going to those clubs for me was like a poor kid going to Disney World. Like I wanted to be in the room so bad, and I was doing all the other things. I was trying to do what I thought a comic would do, is go and drink and stand outside and smoke cigarettes and try to meet women and blah, blah, blah. And when I started sitting in the room and taking notes on comics and...
That's all I did. I mean, I literally would sit there and I'd try to write tags, and everybody doesn't appreciate that. You know?
No,
But it's
dude,
just
we
like,
had
I would be like, you got to change that word and that word, and they're like, who the fuck are you? You know. What
I had a friend who opened for Dan Soder at Good Nights, Nikki Cartwright.
I just
and
saw that club's closing.
They're moving.
Still, that
Yeah.
room. It's like when the Punchline in Atlanta moved. Like
What makes me
those
crazy...
are the two rooms. That's Yankee Stadium. Like of the Southeast. Those
Yeah, dude.
were the rooms that like the laughter just is special in those rooms.
Everything about that building is special, and what
Yeah.
makes me crazy is all the bricks in that green room are just going to get pushed into a pile, and they're all signed. Robert Schimmel signed one of those bricks. John Witherspoon signed one of those bricks. Ralphie May, Dave Attell, fucking everybody. You know, the pictures in that hallway. It's so fucking magical. But Nick Cartwright opened for Dan Soder not that long ago, and I was like, dude, sit in the back of the room and take notes. And if you end up talking about comedy, pay attention and just know the jokes he's doing, you know? And then he took it, and, you know, on the Thursday, so it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and on Thursday he was like, he tried to give him tags. I was like, you don't know this man. Why are you giving him tags on a Thursday? You don't ever do it on Thursday.
Because you want to see him try it on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, you do it Saturday morning, dude. You don't do it on Thursday. He's got an HBO special. You're an open micer. You don't fucking give him tags. And he was mortified, and it was fucking hilarious. And Dan let him off the hook because he's a good guy, but hilarious.
By the way, if you ever work with me, give me every tag.
Yeah, you like tags.
Because I'll almost not do any of them, but there'll be one that's fucking like, that makes me go, that's like writing on Miss Pat. It's like, it's not necessarily about giving her the exact joke. It's like giving her the thing that makes her go, yeah, but I'd say it like this.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not using the exact.
I didn't even think about going down that angle.
Yeah.
And then, or maybe it is like, you know,
it's never the exact joke. It's the different perspective that'll shoot her off into the way that she thinks. I've never met the two people that love tags more than anybody. You and JD Etheridge.
Yeah.
JD says, I'm a tag machine. I only come for the tags. Like he stands there, and he'll take a tag from anybody.
Yeah,
dude.
I want that run of earthquake. But the problem is you run into, like, if you get too much where you're taking lines from other people that give them to you, they're not always giving you a line they wrote. They're trying for that last. So it's like you learn quickly. I remember Mitch didn't want him at all. Like I gave him I was sitting in the green room with him and talking, and I was like, you say a thing right there about the ants, but ants are black, so they're not really snowmen. Maybe like I'd give him a tag, and he's like, yeah, man, that's funny. Maybe you should try that in your, because I just don't use anything that I didn't think. Like, he was very, you know, he wasn't being like, hey, quit pitching me. He was just, but he would laugh. And
how often did you work with Mitch Hedburg?
I worked with him once for a week at the Punchline, like before he had the thing happen where he got stopped at the airport for at some point that started his whole, he got caught at an airport with some heroin stuff in his bag or something. And then they were going to arrest him, and they realized his leg was like gangrene, and they were like, we got to get you to a hospital, where they almost amputated his leg, where that ended up being like the doctors from either Houston or Austin, whichever one was back, they were like, they were going to take your leg. Well, we don't do that Civil War shit here. And then they fixed his leg, you know, but
it's wild to think
he was wearing clogs when I was working with him, and it was like, and then Serena at one point was like, have you noticed, like, he's got plastic wrapped around his leg? So he had his leg wrapped in plastic and wearing clogs because his leg was swollen it was right before that happened, where he got busted, where his leg
It's crazy to think
but he was
a guy who's a genius like him, the level of not giving a fuck about himself. We know people who
addiction's
live like
terrible,
that.
dude.
Yeah,
you know,
it's difficult.
You can live with shit as it go. You know, like it's almost like chewing tobacco or dip it. Like when I dip, and then I get like a sore in my mouth, and I'd be like, I gotta quit. I got cancer, and then it starts to get a little bit. You're like, all right, well, there's.
Back to it.
I got the sore on this side. I'll move it over to here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like.
It's yeah.
So at some point you're like, it's not as, my leg doesn't look as bad. I can wrap it in plastic and they won't smell it. You know what I mean? Like.
You just brought up Serena. That's how we started 20 minutes ago. We got 4
going
minutes.
Back to what was the name of the bent dick thing again?
Peyronie's disease. Yes.
Terrible. So the commercial's on, right? So this is relationship advice. Maybe you guys can comment and tell me which way we went. But see, we had a pretty good conversation there, right? This is how I am, and all the time. I'm like this around my wife.
You're delightful.
Right? So, yes, thank you. I said, the commercial's on. It's that awkward, like you're talking about, a lot of chili and peppers, and she's cooking, and I'm in there. And so,
chili pepper penis is a T-shirt,
anyway,
by the way.
So I say to her, a bent dick, that's normal, isn't it? Isn't it pretty normal to have like it not straight on? Like dicks are shaped a little different, aren't they?
Yeah, man.
And she gave me like I don't like, how the fuck would I? She didn't say how the fuck would I know, but that's, you know, she was like, well, like how would I? And I'm like, Like there's no way she could answer that question. And so, yes. So she and I said,
Well, you guys have been married for 20 some odd years.
yes, but
She hasn't seen a lot of dicks.
she she not in 25 years, but you know what I mean. She hasn't seen the upgrades.
The new models?
Yeah, she hasn't seen the new models. Hopefully. Anyway, what I'm saying, when she gave me that, like, how would I know? I haven't even seen your dick in 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, you could have that for all I know. None of that. She just gave me like a what, how, and instead of being like, okay, she doesn't want to have this conversation, I, in my head, am like, well, anyway, I'll just tell you what I said. She goes, well, how would I know? And I go, what? Well, you've seen a lot of dicks. Like, you know that. Like,
Why would you say that?
Oh, you guys are on her side on this.
Yeah, don't say
Why would you say that?
Because
I don't know if it's so much a side as much as
it
just
wasn't.
like knowing not to say that.
Oh,
Why would you say that? What was the thought behind it?
my thought was literally. I mean, I could put myself in her. My thought was like her reaction to like me asking her, aren't dicks different shapes and some of them, you know? Because like mine has, like you said, I got a little,
Yeah.
you know.
Which dicks has she seen, do you think?
Whoever she was with before me, which was at least.
How old are you when you got married? When you got together, how old are you, Tom?
I was 30.
Yeah, she probably saw a lot of dicks. I apologize.
Yes. I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm not shame. That's not by saying that, I'm not trying to shame her in any way. My thought process is, what do you mean you don't know? You've seen dicks. You've seen plenty of dicks. Like, between us, you're the dick expert.
You think she's seen more dicks than you?
Yes.
I would make an argument that's the other way around.
Yeah.
I would make an argument that you've seen more dicks than her. Not only in person,
But in porn and stuff?
In porn, in person. For sure you've seen more dicks in person.
No.
1,000,000% you have.
No.
At the gym, you hang out with Savage Comics in the 90s? Get the fuck out of here. How many green room dicks have you seen in your
None.
goddamn life? None?
No.
Get out of here, Tom.
I haven't.
You're out of your fucking mind, you liar.
No. Maybe it's that much of a proof. Nobody's pulling out their dick around me. I don't want
Nobody, Tom. You were friends with Paul Hooper when he was a drinker. 1,000,000 times you saw his dick.
We weren't friends at that time.
What's Paul's dick look like?
I don't know.
You don't
He
know?
says it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I bet it is.
So anyway,
How about you saw it, Eric?
Paul's?
See?
I never saw Paul's
Why aren't
dick.
you offended by him asking you? You've seen Paul Hooper? Like,
Why would I be offended? I
Why
love
is my
dicks.
wife offended? Why are you guys like? You shouldn't say that. Like that's what I mean. In my mind, I'm thinking she's acting like she can't answer this question.
What was
I'm saying she's seen 20 dicks. Okay.
Phrasing.
What was
You've seen plenty of dicks.
Yeah.
Assuming.
What was the follow-up?
What you're asking, that's not bad, but I think it's just the phrasing
Okay.
of it.
Obviously, because not everybody disagrees, but I didn't mean it in any derogatory way. I literally, like, my attitude was, especially when we met, like, I don't care how many people you've been with, that's like been practice for us. This works out great for me. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
You know? Everything about this is great.
Do you think she would remember dicks she saw 20 years ago?
I would feel like she has a general knowledge of what the variety of, you know what I mean? Like what the sizes and yes, I'm sure she has, you know, I mean, yeah. I guess, I don't know. I don't
If I showed you pictures of people you went to school with, and it was like a lineup of 10 photos, and 3 of them were people you went to junior high school with, could you point them out of a lineup?
I don't
Now
know.
make it dicks.
No, but I think you'd have a general knowledge of like, are they normally straight? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's my own.
Are dicks normally straight?
I don't know. I've assumed.
Yeah, I don't think so. It would be weird if you had a really straight dick. If you got a
That's
really
what I
straight
meant.
dick, hop in the comments and
So
send
that's-
Tom a picture
yeah,
on
so
Instagram.
I was like, they're pretty normally, like I'm feeling you either hang left or you hang right, you have a little whatever. So that was my thing. And her, I guess rightfully so, was like, well, why the fuck would you ask me that? Like because we just watched the same commercial, and I'm like, well, aren't most dicks, don't they have bends?
Yeah.
So, and then she's like, what do you mean? How would I know? And I'm like, what do you mean, how would you know? You've seen a lot of dicks. Like,
But you meant everybody's seen a lot of dicks, or her specifically?
I bet she's, between me and her, I
Is she a
assume
nurse
she's
by
seen-
chance?
Is she what?
A nurse?
No.
Okay. Because that would be different.
Yeah.
You know?
Nursing homes, see a lot of
Nurse, yeah, any situation.
It's the opposite of slut shaming. It's like you've had plenty of, like I don't care.
Such an independent woman, I bet you've seen so many dicks, but that just doesn't come out right.
Okay, when I first met her and we were like going through, like, you have the conversation of like, how many people have you been with?
Yeah.
Her number was bigger than my number. So, I mean,
You're saying it's only fair to assume because she's been with more people.
Yes. And I'm not putting her down for it. I'm just like, you have a thing of reference to this conversation.
I think it was just the phrasing.
It's-
It all comes down to
It really is phrasing and tone, probably.
Oh, so that's what I.
the matter of factness. Is I bet you've seen so many dicks. That's the problem.
Like that's what she said. She said it's the way you say it. Like it's like a dart.
Like a
you've seen
dig.
a lot of dicks. Like I don't that's the way you're taking it. And that's your own thing. You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
So what's the actual question that you?
Where they been? That's it. So my question was that. I got the answer by your reaction. Like, what the fuck? Why would you say that out loud as somebody?
It's just the phrasing. I think Seth's right. So you know.
I just get focused on the other thing. Like that. The point to me is, wait, you can answer that. Like, you know, and not. And that's the way my mind is. And I'm realizing that's very frustrating to live with. So if you're like that, try to learn, like, not to. I just need to learn to not talk. I think that's when you see a happy relationship. Usually, the man he just sits in his chair and fucking turns off his hearing aid and just doesn't interact his opinions. Keep that shit to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. You keep it to yourself and your weird fucking dicks. Keep it to yourself, everybody.
And come on, and don't be offended.
Tuck your dick in your waistband.
I'm being more feminine. Like I'm not. Am I being like? That's not sexist for me. I don't think to say. I'm gonna keep hitting the microphone.
Yeah, I was about to say easy.
Like God, I don't know. I'm trying to be better, and I constantly keep fucking up. So
you're trying to say if you were like trying to be delicate about it, it would be more insensitive. Is that what you're trying to say? Like if you were just like, oh, I don't know, but like you're trying to say, oh, she's a woman, and it's okay that she's been with these people. I mean, she has the right.
yes,
You're trying to not overdo it.
I wasn't.
You
being
see
like,
how difficult it was for him to say that just now?
Yeah,
You tried to say it and put no thought into it, and that's why it came out the way it came out.
Mine still came out bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's no good way to say it.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say this because I know for sure she's not watching. Serena, I'm very sorry. You were right.
Hashtag Peyronie's awareness.
Yes.
All right.